What is going on, my fellow champions of the realm? I got a quick question for you, and that quick question is, are you having trouble on the front line? Well, have no fear, because after this video, you will have a much better understanding of the tank role, as well as other key aspects that are in your control. The first tip for this video is going to be to know your role. So when choosing your tank, it's good to know what role that tank fills. Not all front lines are built the same. What some may excel at, others may falter, right? And there are different types of tank roles. So these are Disruptor. These tanks are very good at going into the enemy team and causing havoc. Some examples of these will be Rom, Ruckus, and Yaggorath. Controller. These tanks excel at holding space, especially objectives. Examples of these will be Inara, Barrack, and Nando. And then there are support tanks. These tanks can support ally players with utility. So this would be like Torvald and Terminus. And to make this a little bit more sensible, Torvald has bubbles, right? And those bubbles can heal. And then Terminus has a siphon that works very similarly to Torvald bubble, just without range, right? And if you need a little bit more explanation or info on that, I do have Terminus guides, which I will link right here on the top. So you can take a look at and get examples of that, right? But one thing I want you guys to keep in mind is I did list these tanks in these roles, but it doesn't mean that they can't fit into other ones as well. So, depending on the situation, don't be afraid to be disruptive as a tank that is better at controlling. And don't be timid to control with a tank that is mostly known for supporting, because nothing's absolute, right? And things can be very flexible. Tip number 2. Understanding resource management. Every role can benefit from this tip, but in my opinion, tanks benefit a little bit more because they get looked at a little bit more, right? You know, being all big and tall. So when I mean resources, I mean these 3 main things, which are all in your control, by the way. So these will be natural cover, objects in the game that cannot be shot through, for example, boxes, walls, plants, cooldowns, so that'll vary from shields, mobility, damage mitigation, whether it be from self-heals or immunity. And some examples of these will be like Conchow, which will give you heals as well as damage immunity, and then damage reduction will be like Yaggorath's Harden ability, right? And then the last resource will be health. So basically how many health points your specific champion has or has remaining. Note that I listed these 3 in a specific order because natural cover and CDs once gone still leave you standing compared to once your health is gone, you're gone, right? So you want to make sure that you're really taking a lot of advantage of natural cover and cooldowns so that you can maintain as much health as possible to basically buy you time to get into more natural cover, to get your cooldowns back, and things like that. Tip number 3, shielding for blocking damage or angles. So when using a shielding ability, understanding when to shield to block damage and when to shield to control or deny angles is very, very important. If you shield to block damage when you should be controlling an angle, you lose map control. If you shield to control an angle when you should be denying damage, that could result in either you or an ally being eliminated, right? And I'm actually going to give you a quick example of what I mean by that with a little bit of drawing so you can fully understand, right? And here you go. Tip number 4, map control over defaulting mid. I always tell people who try and flame me or others for not just sitting on the objective that getting 99% doesn't guarantee a mid cap. If the enemy team wipes my team in the process of me trying to capture that objective and holds us in spawn for the remainder of that round, that 99% doesn't do anything for me. It goes back to 0, they capture the objective, and now they are on push with a point. So I would much rather take map control and put my team in the best possible position to fight rather than just sitting on the objective, allowing them to fight on their own, just to say, well, I was doing my job, right? 'Cause at the end of the day, it is a team game. So the same way your damage players are going to shoot things, right? Your supports are going to heal things. You are a frontline, and you should be in front of your teammates, right? And your goal is to be doing your best job, right, to create opportunities for them. Now, is there going to be moments where sitting on the objective may be better than playing for map control? Yes, like I said earlier, nothing is absolute. But don't default mid every round just because you're a tank champion. You are so much more than that. You're a shield, you're a protector, you're a leader, you're a frontline. So I hope with these tips, you'll go into your games ready for what the tank life brings you. But just always keep in mind that I'll be cheering you on as you capture objectives, dive backlines, and peel for your team, you know, from time to time. Thank you so much for taking your time out of your day to watch this video. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and comment to let me know how you feel, and subscribe to stay up to date with me and my content if that's something that you'd be interested. This is Coach Apache, a fellow tank main, and I hope to see you in the realm. Till next time.